Hello and welcome to the mill. I am your host Dusty Crane, and this week we have a solo playthrough of Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Secrets and Soirees. We're going to go ahead and be setting up and playing the what I consider the traditional solo mode. So let's go ahead and take a look at the setup. Let's go ahead and get our containers here. Oop. And I'm going to make a mess, So let's get these out. Check out how easy this setup is. Let's go ahead and open this one for later, and this one right here. Boom. Get this stuff out of the way. All right, now check this out. We're gonna grab the blue, the white, the red, the yellow, and the green. We're going to grab, let's just go ahead and shuffle up some of these throne rooms. And we're just going to pull 3 at random. Now, we are going to go ahead and we're going to pick, we're going to pick 6 of these stacks of 9 because that's what we're going to be working with in the game here. So let's go ahead and just at random. There's a stack of 9. 2, 3, 4. These have already been shuffled up, so that really doesn't necessarily matter which ones I get. There's 5 and 6. Now we can move this off to the side. These can go off to the side as well, but we're gonna need them, so let's go ahead and we'll put it a little bit off camera, a little bit on camera. I know that's going to be just kind of sitting out. We'll set these just off to the side. And that's going to be our starting shared hand. Let's go ahead and pull these over. Now these cards, you should just consider them a part of the setup. This is just the Automa turn order, and it's a scoring benefit. That is nice. Whose turn is it? This is very helpful if you step away and don't remember where you were at. Round 1, round 2. So just set that off camera a little bit, but I will go over it, I promise. Scoring aid. This is the updated one to include activity rooms. So go ahead and have that nearby as well. This one stays right here in the middle of the table. We're going to use this to keep track of whose turn it is. And let's go ahead and give these throne rooms a shuffle. I am not looking at them. I'm going to randomly assign one up top to Roberg. These 2 go over here. And then we also need a deck of Automa cards. So let's go ahead and put that right there. Oh, I'll give them a little shuffle. They've already been shuffled, so no big deal there. And then these cards right here go just above in Roberg. You're going to want a little bit of room for them, so that's probably good enough. And now we're going to go ahead and assign these yellow and green castles. And how we do that is we are going to go ahead and look at this card right here, and the first thing it wants is the living room area. So we're going to put the green one over here on the living area, and the next one it wants is a sleeping room, so we will move that yellow castle on top of the sleeping room. That right there, that's the setup. Super easy. This one we're no longer using now, so we can go ahead and put that in the box, and we are good to go. These are signal tokens, and I'll get into them in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of this and just set it off to the side. This is a little bit tighter than we normally want it. Game does have a table presence, so let's go ahead and get into the game, shall we? All right, so we are at the beginning of the automa turn order. So the very first thing that we do is we look at this shared hand and decide if we were advising our partner, what would we put in the castle. So, well, first we have to figure out whose turn it is first. And let's go ahead and look at this card here, which is really helpful. We see very first hand of round one, there's 9 tiles starting, which is what we have out right here. Von Links is our current player. Now, she's always going to be the starting player, but that's just another example of how helpful this card is. You can see, depending on how many tiles you have at the beginning of the hand, you know how many, or what hand you have, that you know who is going first. So, Von Links, and then we're going to play, in this time, clockwise order. So let's go ahead and get started. So over here, we need a living area or a corridor, and we do have a corridor. So let's go ahead and mark that. And, well, we do not have any of the living area here. We do have something that might work well with it in this snake pit, because it well, see, yeah, that's probably not going to work as well as I had originally thought. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and use, it doesn't make sense to use these wild tokens just yet. We'll go ahead and take this one. Why not? Let's do a downstairs room. We got a quarter. So these are the two that I'm saying, hey, maybe we can go ahead and work with. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have now. Again, these mean nothing except for to signal. You'll see here in just a second. Let's go ahead and flip. Now that we've already done that, now we got to flip over an automa card. So now we have to figure out which one of these tiles are valid. We know that these, because we're playing with the expansion, and you don't have to play solo with the expansion, you can, but go ahead, and these wild ones, that means these are food rooms. So anywhere you see a wild one, like these 2 tokens, these are food rooms. Now this is just for the sake of trying to find a valid target. This very first one right here, so now we're going to start running through the filters. Initially, what's valid is everything up here that doesn't already have 5 tiles. So everything is valid right now, and technically we would say, well, this room type is valid, this one, etc. But we're just starting off, just everything's valid right now. So in this case, the very first thing the automa wants is one of their favorite tokens. So let's go ahead and see if we have any living tokens, which we do not. There's no living room, so that's not going to help us. And the second thing it wants is sleeping rooms. And we do not have any sleeping rooms. So usually, or sometimes, there's actually another thing here to help you filter. In this case, everything here is still valid. We use this tiebreaker to go from the left one, so boom. This one just got chosen to be added to Roberta, because that's the very first thing we're going to do, is we're going to add it to the top here. So that actually goes right there. And Roberta, or Roberg, rather, has begun being built. So 1 castle there. Now we go ahead and use this part of the card, which says it's either going to be a blue castle or a white castle. In this case, this is the token that we're putting into Roberg, or the tile, and we get to just put it where we want. Now we can see that we want this on either end, so I would say, hey, let's build this way since we got a little bit more room. Boom, there's that. And that was the very first turn. Now it is Roberta von, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. It means right. I did at least do Google to try and see if it was something I could pronounce, but I think the answer is no. Okay, so new situation here. Now we're placing for this title, and we see we need orange rooms, or for this castle. We need orange rooms and sleeping rooms. We know we don't have any sleeping rooms. We do have an orange one, so that one should automatically get tagged. Let's go ahead, and we had yellow or white there last time. Let's go ahead, and we really kind of want it. Let's hope maybe the next one's blue. So we'll signal that one. We know we're going to be putting at least 1 sleeping room in here, and we could use this to help with that. So let's go ahead and flag that one as well. Now we can flip this card. Any wilds are activity rooms. This icon right here, in terms of trying to decide what is valid, means, this one actually means most of. So right now what we have the most of in our castle is these downstairs rooms. So because we have downstairs rooms, this is what we are going, it was going to be valid. First one says whatever tiles we have the most of, which is these. So these all have ones. These become valid, and nothing else is tied or anything like that. So these two are the only two valid ones. It doesn't make any difference between the green and yellow because these are the only two valid, and it's not a sleeping room or a living area. So now we do the tiebreaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is going into Roberg right there. And now we're going to select our blue tile to go in there on the right hand side, and we'll go ahead and put it right here. Just, well, we'll do it here, why not? You need to have a little bit of space to build out these castles, but that was that turn. Now on my turn, I have a choice to make. I'm putting one tile of my choice here, one tile of my choice here, and so I think what I'm going to do is, we don't have any circle ones here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the armory over here, and that would mean maybe I will use, actually I'm going to go ahead and do this because this is one that I originally wanted over in this castle. I recommend not placing on your turn until you know both tiles and you kind of slide them away, because sometimes you go, you put something over here and you forget about, maybe you got 3 of a kind and you got to take your bonus, and then you forget what was going on over here. Maybe you forget to place it. You don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and place this one over here, and I'll just put it, because it wants a circle, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a possibility. I'll do that right there. And then over here, let's go ahead and we'll just put this over here. Why not? So that was my turn. Now we're back up. Now let's say I left this here. I, got called to supper or something, and I come back and I'm like, oh, was it my turn? I don't know. We can look at this. We're still in the first hand. We have 3 tiles left at the start. We know it's Von Links. Like, oh, yep, see, I forgot to move that. Boom. That's why this card is awesome. I definitely like that they included that. It's a winner. All right, so now these ones, obviously the hand gets down there a little bit. Much easier to choose. Let's go ahead and talk about these. Now, these rooms right here, when we place them, can be anything we want. In this case, if I put it right here, I would be copying the armory, and I would get 2 victory points for every specialty tile that's above. Now, it doesn't really help me because, that is there. But if, if this was pointing the other way, for example, then I could duplicate that, then that would be 2 per room, 2 per room. So that would be pretty good. But I don't necessarily see anything that I want to copy. Well, here, let's do this. We'll put, let's put our flag on this one, because I can maybe use that over, or actually I'm doing this castle. See? I get a little bit confused from time to time. It happens. So, okay, we're only working with this one right now. These 2 castles are in play. And the Automa is going to take care of that. We'll go ahead and flag that. I'll do this one just to kind of maybe set something up. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and flip this over. So we know these are sleeping rooms. Let's start with our preferences, or our filters. So right now, the only 2 filters we have are these are sleeping rooms according to this. These are sleeping rooms, and this is an activity room. Well, we know that we don't have any of these, but we do have sleeping rooms. So now these 2 are the only valid targets. This one doesn't make any difference because we have 0. So now we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one gets claimed up into the castle, and it's going to go into the sleeping room area because that's what it represents at the moment. Unlike when you're placing tiles maybe over here, you don't really need to put the tokens on top of this. It's obviously in that column. It's fine. Now, it wanted the white tower here, the white signal. So now let's go ahead and put this. Activity rooms can only go above ground, so I'll go ahead and put this right. I guess it really doesn't matter. I'll just put it right here. Actually, I'm gonna put it right here because then maybe I can get some of these mirrors up here. And now we're at the end here. This is moving over. This tile just gets set aside. I actually keep these nearby just to remind me what hand I'm working with. So I'll just set it out of the way here. You guys will be able to see that. So I know I've gone through one hand. I'm gonna grab my next stack of 2 tiles. Move these signal tokens for a second. Let's go ahead and just make these make sense. And by that I mean, you know, upward. Okay. Now we're selecting for this castle over here. We know we want a sleeping room or a work room or a utility room. And we don't have any utility rooms. Do we have any sleeping rooms? We do. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and flag them both. We want to get a sleeping room in our castle per our throne room. So let's go ahead and do that. And so we've signaled both of those. Let's flip the card. All right. We have a wild, so this one's going to stand as a corridor this time. However, our first filter is going to be only living rooms and sleeping rooms. So this is valid. This is valid. And that's it. We don't have any activity rooms, just sleeping rooms. So what do we have 0 of? Well, how this would work out is if we did have living rooms on offer and we did have sleeping rooms, well, we already have a sleeping room. This one wants one that you have 0 of, then automatically the only thing that would be valid would be these living rooms. We don't have any of that to deal with. I just thought I'd try and throw that out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one is going into the castle, into Roberg. Now you can see that we were supposed to put that white castle here into the left. It's gone. We just choose the other thing we signaled. That's how that works. And we'll put this sleeping room right here. And go down to me. This one might be pretty good for over on this castle because we can have it pointing to the activity room. I kind of like that. And this one might be kind of good over here because we can point to this right here. I could also add another sleeping room to the castle if I do this. So let's do that. Let's use one of these wilds over here. So again, I've set them both aside. Slide these together. And I'm going to put this here for, you know, the 2 points being touched to that. Now we do have to be careful with this because in this case, we get 1 point for each, you know, each one that we're kind of got here next to us. And I don't know if you can hear my lawn being mowed, but that's a thing going on. So sorry if you hear that noise. Hopefully it won't last too long or be too irritating. Let's go ahead and take a look. We got an activity room. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, good. So we don't have 3 of anything just yet. Let's go ahead and put this here. Basically, this is going to have the possibility of being another 4-point room. And, you know, so we'll go ahead and let's put a sleeping token on this. Now, my tokens, I like to take a little Sharpie marker to the edge so it's not just plain cardboard. I think it looks pretty sharp. And we'll just put this right here just to remind us that that is a sleeping room. So if we get one more sleeping room, we can actually, you know, get that bonus of when you have 3 sleeping rooms, you get a tower. So that's something to keep in mind over here. We've placed those. It is now Roberta. Or I just placed. Yeah. Whew. All right. So let's make sure. All right. I got a little lost for a second. I think distracted by the lawnmower. So it is. We are in our second hand because we already have the one tile over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 left. It is Von Link's turn, which is where I have it. So good. Good. Now, what do we want to put over here in this castle? If we could get another activity room up here, we maximize the points on that one. But we don't have one of those. So this is something that we could put here if we wanted, but it's not necessarily the most points wise. If we use that, we definitely have food rooms. Maybe we set this castle up to be food heavy if we had the option. I don't know that we do. Not a perfect information kind of game. It's really is about pivoting and taking the opportunities that you have when they occur. Let's go ahead and do this one. Let's go ahead and flag it. We'll put that there. And for this one, let's go ahead and put this right. We'll do that like that. Let's go ahead and flip this over. No wild rooms to worry about. So now we're talking about what we have the most of. So we have the most sleeping rooms and a tie for the downstairs rooms. We don't have sleeping rooms. We don't have downstairs rooms. So now everything is still valid here. So we're just going to go 1, 2. This one is actually going into Roberg, which is actually going to go right there. And now we're going to take this tile here and put this. We'll probably put. We can't do that one underground. We'll put it here. Or, no, let's do it. That's immediately under. Yeah, let's do that there. Now, Roberta von right. So, all right, let's go ahead and see about this castle over here. We have no torches at all, so that doesn't necessarily help. No food rooms either. I'm trying to think of what we've seen the most of, white and blue. You can kind of game it a little bit. I'm sure they're even. I haven't actually done the counting, but if you've seen a lot of blues, then maybe if you really, really want one more, you go ahead and put the white signal token down. Let's go ahead, and we don't have any square mirrors either, a lot of circle mirrors. So really none of this particularly helps us. So I guess if I do this, I'll get closer to adding a fountain. I think that's what the 3 outdoor is, a fountain, yeah. And I guess like these are literally all things being equal, so we'll just do this and see what we get. Flip the card, and we have the wilds. We don't have anything here. No, it's just counting here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one is going into Roberg right here. And now we're doing the blue, so this is going in over here, and we'll just extend our garden. Why not? Add a little fish pond. So that's good for us. So now we're done with that second hand. That just comes up here as a reminder and comes down here for the third hand of the first round. Let's make these make sense. For this one, it is my turn. I just pick whatever 2 I would like. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll try and maybe set this one up for a tower. Maybe, or I guess, yeah, this is what I'm thinking about putting on over here. Although this one would benefit from an activity room going above that one. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and mark this one for over there. For over here, we can go ahead and have a connected orange room. We can... Now this is something that's important to know. If I was using this, I would not be able to do that there. You can't copy specialty tiles. You can only copy basic tiles. I will need one of these eventually. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and mark these as going in. So this one I'm going to put in right there to maximize points on this one, and also that's really what the deal is there. And this one over here we're just going to put right here, so that's worth 2 points. And that was my turn. I'll move it up to Roberta Von Links here and start flagging some stuff here, start signaling what we might want to work with. So this one just doesn't want to be around. I'm kind of setting the groundwork for a tower, maybe. So let's go ahead and see if the stuff we have here, if I put this up top here, then we'd have a third activity room. We could go ahead and place a ballroom. That's something we should consider, maybe flagging. So maybe I'll flag that right there. All right, let's not overthink it, he says as he overthinks it. And let's go ahead and we'll just say maybe we'll put a sleeping room in there too. Why not? Those are 4-point cards. Let's go ahead and flip this over, see what we get. All right, so we know this wild room is an activity room for the sake of working through the signals. That's what this is telling us here. Now we're going to start with only living areas, and sleeping rooms are valid. So this is not either one of those. So it looks like, or these two are not either one of those. So it looks like our only two options right now are the observatory and the blanket room. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going into Roberg. And I'm pretty sure we're running out of space there, so I will just start kind of stacking them to give you an idea. Now we put the blue signal token, didn't end up getting used, or did end up getting used, so now we're going to go ahead and use this. We're going to go ahead and point down at this. Becomes an activity room. Now this one I didn't have a brown Sharpie, so it's cardboard, brown, kind of works. So there, we got 3 of those now. We got 1, 2, and 3. So now we end up grabbing this stack of ballrooms. We're going to actually only take 3. And I don't know how well I shuffled these, so I'm just going to kind of do one of those. And there's another stack of ballrooms, so we're not going to mess with that. This is good enough. So now we're going to flip these over. And the art's all the same, but we have a few different decisions to make here. Whether we want to count sleeping rooms, activity or living rooms, or outdoor rooms. And we have a lot of sleeping rooms already in Roberg, which would benefit, this one, quite a bit. So, and then also sleeping rooms over here. So this one is definitely a winner for this castle. That is what we're going to do. In the ballroom, we can actually put, we can put, where's this ballroom? Above ground. All right. So we drew 3. We're going to place 1. It has to be above ground. Let's do it right here. Because that's also going to benefit our 2+. We're building a mighty tower. These 2 just get discarded. So I'll put those back up there. And that is it for that castle. This moves over here to the right. Let's see what we want to put in right here. These are seemingly pretty rare, at least so far in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity while I can, since I want, at the very least, I'm going to need one of these or the activity room, because we just need to get 6. We don't have to get one of each color at this point, but we do need to get 6, and we already have orange. We could use a yellow. We already have a black here. Purple is what I'm thinking we should grab if we can. White we do not have in the castle either, so let's go ahead and flag that. And green we have taken care of with our little thing off to the side there, our gardens. So let's flip this over. So the valid tiles are, to begin with, we have this wild is a downstairs room. And what do we have nothing of? We have nothing of the observatory. We have nothing of the living area. We have nothing that is green. And we have nothing that is an activity room, which these are not. So these top three, or these ones that are poked out to the top here, are valid, but this one is the very first one. So this one, even though I wanted to use it, I wouldn't have got it anyway, but this one goes up here into Roberg, and now we can use the blue to put this, and I hadn't really considered where I wanted this necessarily, but let's just go ahead and build upward in case, you know, we're trying to probably do a tower here because we got a couple of, or that's a fountain, isn't it? We're close to sleeping rooms, which give us a tower, so these come back down. So my choice is basically these. That would only, if I put this in, I could have, you know, at least 1 point because those are connected, and that mirror, that helps that too. I kind of liking that. Over here, this is worth 2 points if I put it in next to this, because these tiles are wild. They can go above or below ground depending on what they're pointing at, right? So I could go ahead and put this here, get 2 points for that. This one right now is only worth 1 point, although if I do the third one, then that is my garden and that is my fountain. So let's, you know, all things being equal, this is only a 1 pointer, but it gets me a 5. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to have to shove these over a little bit, make some room. So now that one stays right there. So the 3 here, we got the fountain. So let's go ahead and grab a fountain. And I guess I should have just kept shoving because we're working on this garden area over there, right? I'll put that there. Now we got to place this one over here and per connected. So maybe we'll just go ahead and put this right here so we can at least get 1 and it matches that type. We are at the halfway point of the game. So that comes off there. We're going to flip this over. We are going to grab another set of tiles. Let's see who starts that second round there. First hand of the second round, we start with Von Wright. So let's do that. And let's make it make sense. All right, let's go ahead and see. We're working with this castle this time. We got some sleeping rooms, and we have some sleeping rooms here. Let's go ahead and plan on maybe another sleeping room. Do we have a sleeping room? Yes, with swords. That is, of course, very comforting, you know, when people are trying to sleep, to have some swords near your bed. Let's see about where this one is going to go. Let's go ahead and say worst case scenario. We'll do this. And let's flip this over. So, any wild rooms? No. Shouldn't say wild rooms. Any secret rooms? No. And so what's going to be valid first is what we have 0 of. So orange, there's no orange. Outdoor rooms, we do have some outdoor rooms. Those are going to be valid. And activity rooms, which we don't have any of those. So it looks like these are our valid token types. Yeah, we got utility, we have outdoor, and we have activity as not having any. So it's just going to be down to these. And well, the second filter, the most of, well, obviously we already have 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going into Roberg. And now we're going to do this one, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I think I saw more blue castles. I don't know for sure, but I thought I saw more blue, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that right there. And we now have 3 of our sleeping rooms over here, which grant us a tower. And so let's go ahead and plant that tower at the top of our tallest right there. And slide these together. You'll notice that in round 2, we're actually going counterclockwise now. So now we'll follow the arrows to Von Links. And what would we like over here? I guess we do have at least one, so let's go ahead and do blue. We'll put that right there. Let's do that, because we might be able to make it work right here or right here. So why not? All right, no no secret rooms to make outdoor rooms. So now whatever we have the most of becomes valid sleeping rooms. We have 3 of those, so this is going to become the greatest. It obviously matches. There's no reason to continue down there, because in terms of the valid tokens or the valid tiles, none of them are at 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sleeping room. We just lost it to Roberg, so I'm going to actually put this like right here so that we can, kind of keep track. You guys can see it on camera, hopefully, supposing I did everything right here. And now the blue token or blue signal marker tile is gone. Let's go ahead and take this one, and this is going to go, we'll do it right here. Not 3 of a kind there. Now it is my turn to put anything, a tile of my choosing. So let's go ahead and, if I do another, this helps the points there. If I put it right here, and we get a nice little bonus. So that's what I'm thinking, this one over here. And for over here, if we build downstairs, that is not going to help. Sleeping rooms above, there'd be 2, and I can build this down. That's no question about it. So we're going to do this right here. So 2 outdoor rooms, but this is going to have 2 sleeping rooms in this row. So I mean, that's going to top out at a 2 point, but it's going to help the tower. So let's go ahead and keep it. And then this one I'm going to put in right here, which puts us at 3 corridors. And so we have a grand foyer choice to make now. And the grand foyer, the grand foyer just likes being surrounded. And we can put it above ground or below ground. If we put it here, then if we put it here, it's worth 3 points. If I put it here, it's worth, this one's worth 2 extra points. And I'm still going to get a point for it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this grand foyer below ground because I can help increase this. I need to get some sleeping rooms to get a tile, or what, 5 of a kind, and then I can choose. So maybe I go ahead and get 2 more corridors to get us to 5. Although I got 3 activity rooms, so I can make that work too. We got some options. We just gotta, we only have a little bit more time to do it, so we gotta start thinking about that. This one already went into place, so 3 tiles left. Like, oh man, did I put those into both? 3. 3 tiles remaining in the first hand means it's Von Right. I swore I was not going to try and screw that up. Put that right there. All right. Von Right. Let's see. Over here, if I do this, I get a purple into the castle, and I could put it right here to get 1 point. This one is a 2-pointer, and I probably will keep adding to it. So this one's actually not a bad choice either. It kind of works on my my outdoor room thing I got going. So let's go ahead and stick with that. Why not? No wild token, or no secret rooms. Wild is going to kill me. No secret rooms. All right, so now what we have the most of. We have sleeping rooms. The second most of is we have downstairs rooms. So this one becomes available, or becomes the one to choose. Of course, none of those are zeros. 1, 2, 3. This goes into Roberg. And now we have this blue. So this is going to go, I'm just going to say this is continuing out over there, because I'd like to keep my options open on the other side of the table, or the castle here. And now we've got 4 hands done. This is going to go over here to Von Links for this next one. All right, so let's go ahead and confirm. Second one, Von Links is up. So let's see what would work best over in this castle. We are definitely trying to get either 5 of a kind or 3 sleeping rooms, which seems unlikely at this point. So let's go ahead and take a look. We don't have any corridors either, but I could use this to the advantage there. So I'll go ahead and I'll put this right there. Let's do that, because that's possibly, gets us closer to 4 points. It also gets us closer to 5 of a kind that lets us place a specialty tile. So let's go with that. So wild is going to be a food room. So we need to start with stuff they have 0 of, which is orange and activity. So lots of valid tiles here. There is no second one, just this. So 1, 2, and this is going into Roberg. So there's that there. And now this one is going into, and I think I'll put this one right here. I could technically put this right here, and then when the next time I put something there, it will then copy that room type. But I'm going to go ahead and do this right here. That's going to become a white corridor. Like that. So now we have 4 of those. And let's slide these together again. It's my turn. What do I want to add? We could add, let's see if we can add it down. No, there's no downstairs rooms. But we don't have an activity room yet, so let's go ahead and go heavy on those because we have them right now. If we do this, we can make this a, just make sure there's no other activity rooms around it, and there's not. Or this one. These are both the same situation. They're not going to hurt us because we don't have one yet. Oh, it's my turn. I don't have to flag anything. So, okay, so let's go ahead and put this. We'll add a chess room over here. And then over here, let's go ahead and we're just going to do activity rooms all around. I don't want that one because that one, let's do this one over here. So this one we're going to put right here because there are no purple rooms around it to do anything. So that's a 2-point room. And then over here, we were going to put this right here. So, all right. So now we are over here. This one, I just feel like let's go ahead and really go for broke here. Let's push the sleeping room strategy because yeah, I think it might be probably our best bet. Let's just do this and hope in this next hand that we can get at least one more room color that we need. Let's see here. Okay, so only thing that's valid are zeros, which right now are just activity rooms, is what they don't have any of. So basically that's the only thing that's valid. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put that right there. Now, scoring wise, here's how this hurts. Scoring wise, if all of their bottom row, when you're playing with the expansion, that's a 13 points because it got all of it. And there's actually a little scoring helper here at the bottom. If they have all 13, or all 8 covered, it's 13 points. So, oof, that's going to hurt a little bit. I guess I should have said at the beginning you would select a level you're playing at, but ultimately it's not terribly important to decide up front unless you are doing it a higher level than, I think, 4, 1 through 3. It's fine. Once you go to a higher level, you're adding tiles up there. This is the tile that's going in over there. Let's go ahead and put this right here. Why not? So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more will, help us out. But now we are in the, so let's confirm since I just goofed. So we are in the second hand, and we're starting with 3, which means it's Von Link. So we got it figured out. We got it squared away. That's why that card is so nice and helpful. You start talking, or somebody gets calls. You got family. Somebody get a distraction. You're like, where was I? That's why that helps. So now we're working in this castle over here. This is not going to help us too much. That's not going to help us too much. The sleeping room can maybe do something, so we'll go ahead and do the sleeping room just because there's none of these at all. This one I could at least get a room, I'm sure, so let's go with that. Not necessarily the hugest fan of those, but it is what it is. No wilds. Now, what do we have the most of? We have the most of sleeping rooms. So there's still less than 5, so that's really what the Roberg wants. So Roberg gets it. So now this is at 5. That's another points consequence once it's up to, is it 4 or 5 tall that it's worth? Let's see here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong card. So here you can see, once it is, you can see if there's 2 tall. If we have a column that's 2 tall, it's worth 0 points. 3 to 4 is worth 4 points. And, anything above 4 is 9 points each. So Roberg is doing well this time. So I'm gonna joke that I'm very happy for the Automa. Although I'm not. Because I'm terrible at this game. Maybe you guys are watching, what is he doing? Please help me out. Help me figure out what's going on here. And so now that Roberg has those 5, this becomes the tile that's chosen. Where do I want to put this? I guess I'll put this right here. So I can maybe connect a outdoor room. Oh, this is the nerve-wracking part, although I get first and last choice in this round. So let's see. I do see some purple. That makes me happy. And there's several. So the chance of Roberg taking it is minimal. So that is one of the nice things about the way they have the turn order set up, is in the final round you do have a little bit more first run at some tiles. So let's do this. It's my turn, so I'm going to go ahead and there's no outdoor rooms to extend this down, so 2 per sleeping room. So I'll go ahead and do this. Why not? I'm going to put that, thinking this one's going to go over here and over here. Let's see. I don't necessarily need a sleeping room. Another activity room. Would that get me to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. It would. So this one is going in. So let's go ahead and start with here, since I don't think that's going to trigger anything. We'll go ahead and put this right here, so that's worth 2 points. Gets another color in. Let's see if that is enough to take care of our sleeping rooms. Orange, yes. Yellow, yes. Black, yes. Purple, not yet, but I do have an activity room. White, yes. And green, yes. So my sleeping rooms are taken care of. Thank goodness for that. And this one over here, we doesn't want to be touching corridors, which it won't be right here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We get to choose one of our specialty ones. I'm doing a tower because why not? This one's very tall, so let's do it. So that was my turn. Let's go ahead and move this up to Von right. Let's see what we want to put over here. Let's go ahead and mark it. And that'd be worth 0 points, but give us another. So either way we went with this, we would either get the 5th for choosing a tile of our choice. This one would be the same. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5. So let's go ahead and stick with this so that we can add a tile of our choice over here. Okay, so while secret rooms, we got none. And we are going to start with these 3 being on offer because that's the green. And sleeping rooms, these are options here. And actually, there's actually they already have 5, so that's gonna not be an option. If everything had 5, that would still be valid, but it doesn't. 5 or more, I should say. So right now, these 3 are valid, and we're going 1, 2, 3. This is going into Roberg, and now we're choosing this one, and we will. I would add it down at the end here, but I've run out of room to do that. So let's just slide this over. So now we've moved on to Von links here, and let's see what they could have. What could help? Probably want to get a purple in there in case we get stuck with a sleeping room there toward the end. And this would at least be, get a 1 point on that. Of course, I'm not trying to set myself up for that. We'll just stick with this, why not? No secret rooms, most of 5. Now we already have the sleep room, so the next is the downstairs rooms, which we don't have. These ones now, because so what we ended up doing was this was the next one, so most, but there was no downstairs rooms here to make valid. When now the second most or the third most is the living area rooms, and we actually do have 2 of those on offer, so these 2 are valid. 1, so this one is going into Roberg, and blue one is going into this over here, which I guess I'll put right here just in case I can get a, well, there's no green tile to get, so that's really going to do us nothing. Let's see if I can, I don't want to put it here because that'll make it just a 1 point room. Something, you know, if it'll help somewhere. And I don't see it helping. I definitely don't want it here. So if I put this here, then it will benefit that room and won't hurt anything. Yep, so we'll keep that there. And now it's up to me what I'm going to put, where I'm going to put. Oh, what do I want over in here? This is another 4 points in that castle. So I think this one's going to go over here. And all right, so I'll do this here because it's at least connected to that. So that'll be a 1 point. And then over here, go 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th. Let's see, can I put this here and not hurt anything? Yes. So I'm going to do that. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get to choose a room. So I added 5 of the sleeping rooms. I'm going to take a specialty room of the ballroom. So I draw 3 and I'm going to pick 1. So let's see what's going to help me most. For corridors, that's only 1 up there, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4 corridors. That would be a 4-pointer worth 5 points. So then this one, there's 3, 4, that's worth 4 points. And outdoor rooms, none there and only 1 there. So I think this ballroom is going to be our good one to use here. So I am going to go ahead and where can I add a ballroom? Ballroom has to go above ground. So we'll just go ahead and we'll put it here, just so long as it doesn't hurt anything. I can't put it up there to get it with that bonus there. That's okay. We'll do this. And now all that's left is to do the scoring. So I will be right back with scoring. All right, so I've already tallied what we have on the left castle here, which is 61 points, and over here on the right castle, we have 63 points, so very close points-wise. Let's go ahead and see how Roberg did to see how we ultimately did. This is the scoring assistant card, on the other side of the automa card, or automa turn card. It's really, really helpful. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're just going to play at level 1 because I'm terrible at this game and I want to win. So we're going to go ahead and start with 22 points. So for Roberg here, I'm going to go ahead and slide some of this stuff that we don't need any longer over. For Roberg, let's go ahead and set 22 points. That's their base. Now let's go ahead and I mentioned that if they fill this whole thing up, it's worth 13 points. So we're going to add 13 there. And now this one is worth 0. 0. This one being worth 3 is 4 points. 0, 0. I'll just keep those as zeros. This is 5. This is a 9-pointer. This one here is 0, 0. This one being 3 high is worth 4 points. Guess I should have been kind of showing that. As I was saying, just 1 high is 0 points. 3 high is 4 points. 0, 0. This one's 5 high, so this one's 9 points. 0, 0. 3 high is worth 4. So let's see how Roberg did together. All right, that is 52. So with Roberg 52 and 61, and Roberg is 52 and 63, my lowest is 61. Their lowest is 52. I won the game. We beat level 1. It would have been 3 extra points if we did level 2, which I guess we would have done that too. So not a bad game. You can see level 1, you're starting at 22. I guess maybe not so easy to see across the table there, but You can see the level you're playing at. You start up front. I had already decided I was doing 1, but that might help you. Obviously, once you get to 4, 5, 6, 7, there's a little bit of extra setup to put some tiles here in Roberg to begin with, but that was a solo playthrough of the Automa for Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Secrets, and Soirees. Now, obviously, you will be able to do this much faster if you're not talking through your entire turn, and if you don't suffer from analysis paralysis like I do. But not bad, because usually, my castles normally look kind of all clumped here, and they don't terribly do well, but this one taller, this one longer, and they were very similar points-wise, so not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I will go ahead and put this video up, and I hope if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop them in the comments. Take care, and thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.